Hi guys, I'm Steven.
And I'm Shelby.
And we are the Armchair Emperor. We're here to bring you guys another awesome game of Age of Sigmar. This time it's going to be Taken Hold. And we're just continuing kind of this crazy storyline we've been concocting since the first video, which is that Alariel is leading some of the Legions of Reconquest trying to regain the Realm of Life. The first one was a settlement that was being defended. The second one we were going out into the wilds, the woods and the jungles, trying to retake those. And now we're up on a snow-capped mountain peak. And there was a watchtower up there, and they usually light a beacon to let the people in the valley below know that everything's okay. But the beacon went dark. So the local spell singer, Jezebel, she's gotten a militia basically together of whoever she could find. And she's leading them up into the hills to investigate. And of course, you guys already know what happened to the guys up on the hill. Chaos happened, and they are gone. The settlement's now abandoned. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're really excited to bring this game to you guys. We love making these narratives and showing you guys our armies that we've put a lot of time and work into. And we wanted to showcase some minis tonight that necessarily haven't really been on the channel as much. So we have a mixture for the Order army, for my army.
I have a mixed chaos army of demons, slave to darkness, and beastmen, along with some chaos warhounds, which are technically, I think, from their chaos monsters war list. So a bit of everything. Like Shelby said, we're trying to showcase some miniatures, some of the new stuff, like the brand new Sylvaneth models that we just got and painted that were in the last video, and mix them in with some really super retro classic minis because, hey, why not? The rules are out there for them, right? So what happened was right when the End Times books stopped and Age of Sigmar was coming out but not yet out, there was a huge panic amongst a lot of people who were Warhammer Fantasy players, and they put a ton of their stuff on eBay and sold it, basically, because they were afraid that they weren't going to get to use their miniatures. That was when I was actually starting to get back into the hobby. So Shelby said she wanted to do a Wood Elf army, and I started to browse around on eBay and go to local game stores, and they even had sales in my local gaming store.
Was so much.
You know, there was so much. Everything in a red box from old Warhammer Fantasy is 25% off or 15% off. So we got a mixture of some crazy cool miniatures. I've got the Bretonnian Knights and the Saurus Warriors from the old Warhammer Fantasy boxed game, the one before the Orcs versus the Empire game.
And we have some dwarf miners and dwarf warriors.
Definitely, those guys are really cute.
They're really awesome. I really like them.
And then on the Chaos side, I'm going to be bringing in a retro Chaos Chariot, which is one of those miniatures that was part plastic, part metal. I'm going to be bringing in some old metal Chaos Warhounds, and a couple of Reaper minis as well in there, just to kind of showcase them. We're using them as heralds and heroes. Jezebel's a Reaper mini, and we're going to showcase those to you guys, show you guys the board. We're playing the mission, which is Taken Hold. So there's an objective on each side, but since we're doing a 1,000-point game, we're using a 4x4 table, which is what's recommended for 1,000 points. So instead of putting them in the middle of each side, which we thought would be too easy to get to, we've put them one in each corner diagonally across. So if the deployment of the objectives looks a little funny, it's because we just worked it out that way. So without any further ado, we're going to show you guys the armies, show you guys the table, and get deployed.
Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the Order army that I've put together with some retro minis, some new minis, just a little collection of what we've got. So here we have some of the dwarf miners. These are from late 90s, early 2000s. We have dwarf warriors. And these are from the same era as the miners. We have Saurus Warriors.
They're from that box set with the Bretonnians, the older one.
Now we have some of the newer guys. We have the Kurnoth Hunters.
Which were really good in the last game we played.
I love these guys.
If you haven't seen the previous video, go and check that out because they were really crucial. They were deadly.
There's Jezebel. She's a Reaper mini. She's not a Games Workshop mini. We're using her as a spell weaver. Then we have the Free Guild Guard. They have halberds.
Yeah, those are the old Empire Halberdier box set, and they just have so much character. I mean, if you could see there's a guy with an eye patch and the plumed hats, the beards, I mean, they got a lot of detail into those little guys. And they were super fun to paint. And honestly, you could probably drop those into some historical games.
And they look pretty realistic.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And we have Tree Revenants. Again, this is new additions to my Wood Elf and Sylvaneth army. We used them in our last Age of Sigmar game, and they were really great too. They have some cool rules that we will probably be using in this game too. And then finally back here we have the Bretonnian Knights of the Realm. And these guys are really cool too. Steven did a really cool paint job with a lot of these guys and tied them together with the greens that you see. So they have a themed color.
Yeah, like we said, a lot of this stuff came from sales at gaming stores and eBay. So we wanted to find a way to take all of these very different miniatures, which really wouldn't go together, and make them into a cohesive army. And we did that with our color scheme. We have a green element in every unit, a dark green and a light green. And in addition to that, I used the same Tester's gold and Tester's silver so that the weapons and the shields really shine and stand out. So basically the use of the green and the different metallic colors that we use ties the army together, for sure. And then we've also included a lot of purple elements into various units.
That's my favorite color.
It's Shelby's favorite color, purple. She loves it. That had to do with our choice of color as well.
Okay, and then we'll go on into Steven's army.
Here we have my Forces of Chaos army. I did something a little bit different this time. With 1,000 points, you don't have a ton to play with, but it's still substantial. So in order to take more units, I took 2 cheap heroes. One of them I'm going to point to here. This is an old Bloodletter miniature. He's metal, and he's from 2 editions back from Warhammer Fantasy, so probably 6th edition or 5th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So he was just a plain Bloodletter. That's what they used to look like. But now he looks so big and beefy that I figured he'd be an awesome Herald of Khorne. So that's what he is today. He's a Herald of Khorne. And he's accompanied by 2 units of Bloodletters. I tried 2 very different paint schemes here. One are of the Golden Blades, which is just Tester's Gold on the blades and the horns with a skull-like face. You have the Tester's Gold on the blade and the horns, and the skull color in the face with the purple tongues. And then the second unit in the back with the banner and the command. I tried a paint scheme which I found online, actually in somebody's YouTube video, where they did these sort of red, orange, and yellow color scheme on the swords to make them look like they're on fire, which I thought was neat. I'm pretty happy with the way the golden ones came out, but these guys, I probably wouldn't use that paint scheme again, but they definitely look cool. Those guys are accompanied by some demonettes in the back, which you guys have probably seen in our first video. They're the current line of demonettes. They're still awesome miniatures. And then next to them is a Reaper miniature. She's called I think a demon mermaid or an evil mermaid. So she's got a lot of character, and I painted her up in some Slaanesh colors, pink, light blue, purple, and I just thought she would make a really awesome Herald of Slaanesh on foot. So that's what she is for this game, and she just has a ton of character. In the back there we have the Skull Cannon of Khorne and the Screamers of Tzeentch. And we used that a couple of times. I'm just bringing it back in to see if it does any better this game. It usually misses. But it's a cool miniature.
It's very cool.
And then the Screamers are just fun. They fly around and cause all kinds of havoc.
They always do really good.
Yeah, they're a good unit in 40k too. I bring them a lot. Here we've got some of the old metal die-cast. They're the Chaos Warhounds. And those are a rare exception in this army. I did not paint those. I bought them painted on eBay, and I liked the paint job so much I didn't strip it. I thought it had a little Tzeentchy sort of feel to it with the dark blue body and the light blue fur. Behind them I've got the Beastmen Gores. Just very basic paint job on them. Hand weapons and shields. To the right of the Gores we have the Chaos Chariot I was telling you guys about. I'm going to turn him sideways so you can get a little better view of him. Yeah, he's this interesting sort of model kit where the horses are plastic and the base is plastic, obviously. The rest of him is metal. So he's a heavy miniature, and
you know, when you pick him up, it feels like you're picking up like a pound of metal. But, you know, he came partly painted, so I just painted over some of the stuff. I didn't strip it. I kept some of the paint on there, which was just the plain metal color on the horses, and the rest of it I touched up and repainted. And I rebased them as well. So those are our armies, Forces of Order and Forces of Chaos. Forces of Order are at exactly 1,000 points. One thing we should note, we kind of found a typo in the Forces of Order list in the back of the General's Handbook. The Dwarf Miners don't have a points cost. They're the only unit that doesn't have a points cost. So it says to take 10 of them. We only have 8 miniatures, so we took 8 miniatures and we racked it up as 120 points. So that's what we did. And the other thing is that the Bretonnian Knights unit, they say that you take 8 of them, but in their rules they only get their actual full effect if there's 10. So I took their points cost and divided it down by 8, and then I took that points cost to add on 2 extra miniatures. So that equaled exactly 1,000 points. So the Forces of Order is exactly 1,000 points. The Forces of Chaos are 980 points. There were 20 points left over. I looked through the list and checked it twice, and there was just nothing in there for 20 points. And because you don't have the option of adding models to a squad, really, which we did for the Bretonnians, but, you know, that was because Shelby didn't have the right amount for the miners as well, so we figured it was pretty even. So other than those little inconsistencies, this game's just pretty straight up. Some cool miniatures, and we're going to take you guys to the board. Alright guys, this is the 4x4 table we have set up. This is a homemade canvas mat that we made. It's basically canvas with a coating of window caulk, which rubberizes it, and then you paint it. So we painted it with whites and grays to make a snow color scheme. This was featured in our Frostgrave video already, and we'll be using it for our further bat wraps for Frostgrave and for other games as well. But it's a perfect 4x4. And we decided to go with a theme of a settlement, which is near to the watchtower. And this is where the sentinel fire was supposed to be lit, and it's gone dark. So this is the top of the mountain. There's a small stream flowing through. There's a pine forest. And then in the back we can see that the settlement has just started to be built. So here we have a very interesting piece of terrain. It's amazing that I still have this. I just dug it up. This is a watchtower from the same box set that came with the Bretonnians and the Saurus Warriors. This is crazy retro. It's cardboard. It's paper cardboard stock. And it came in a sheet, and then you folded it up and you glued it together, like those books that they sell in the kids' book section that you can do that with, you know, like the little Knights and Vikings books, if you've ever seen those or your kids have them. So this is a really neat piece of terrain to me. I know it's not pretty because it's all banged up. It's definitely funky looking. But we just wanted to feature it in something, and we hope that you guys will have nostalgic, fond memories of years gone by when you guys maybe had that set. So definitely shout out to us, let us know if you still have any of this terrain, or if you've seen it anywhere recently in the comments below. Over here on the right we have the settlement, which is where the Guardians of the Watchtower were staying. They've started to grow some winter cabbages in the back there, some cauliflower. They've got some hay all stacked up for their animals, some potted evergreens, looks like a ladder on the side of the house. They were fixing their thatched roof. And the house is actually a Petco fish tank terrain, and a lot of people use those now as a way to sort of get cheap, good-looking terrain that's already painted. You know, it's fine, basically, for certain purposes. I know that there's beautiful terrain out there for Age of Sigmar, and we definitely are looking into getting some of that, but we just don't have the funds available at this point. So we're doing the best with what we have. Hope you guys like it. The trees and the hedges with the snow covering on them, they're all just craft store buys from Michael's. And some actual stones here, some birch trees. And in the back we have some fallen masonry from an old ruin from the time that was. And this is the table we're going to be playing on. So, as the objectives, we're going to have 2 corners of the table. The first objective is this little campfire here, which was the beacon that was supposed to be lit. And you can see all the firewood is stacked perfectly and neatly, and it was just never lit. So that's where the Forces of Order are trying to get, and they're trying to figure out what happened. So that's one of the objectives. And if they can light that fire by turn 3, and control the settlement house, then they win. If either side controls both objectives, which is the settlement home and the beacon fire, by turn 3, they just automatically win. And that's in the rules for this scenario taken hold. Now, other than that, it's regular game length, 6 turns. And at the end of the game, if one player has both objectives, they win. If one player has one and the other player has none, that player wins. If each player has one objective, they go down to units destroyed, and you count those up to figure out who wins. So we're going to come back to you guys after deployment. Okay guys, here we are after deployment. We're going to go through one side then the other very briefly and just roll off for first turn and get going. Alright, so in the back here we have the Forces of Chaos. Going from camera left to right, we have the Screamers of Tzeentch, the Demonettes, the Herald of Slaanesh, the Reaper Mini right there. We've got the Chaos Chariot, and we know this looks like a really crowded deployment, and we probably should have used the larger board, but we've already begun. So you know what? It could be interesting. This could be a really fast, bloody, game, and we're just interested to find out what happens. And it looks cool, you guys have to admit. So there's the Herald of Khorne in the front. He's got the Golden Blade bloodletters behind him on the river. We've decided that the river is shallow. It's a stream, so it's not going to be impassable, but it will cut your movement in half going across it or through it. To the right of them, we have the Fiery Sworded with full command bloodletters. Then we have our Skull Cannon of Khorne. Now, because of the large settlement over here, I wasn't able to fully deploy my Beastmen Gores. But in through the front door here, you can see that little guy creeping around in there. And that he represents the fact that the Beastmen unit is deployed inside the house. There is enough room for them to stand in there inside the model house. So they're actually deployed in the house, and the first move he's going to have to do is get out of there. Then all the way here on the right, the extreme right of the line, we have the Chaos Warhounds just sort of chomping at the bit, ready to go. Alrighty then, Shelby, what do we got for your deployment?
Okay, so Jezebel's up here. She got her little warband together, and they just came over to the top of the mountain, and they look across, and they see all these demons.
It's bad news.
In their tower, in their settlements. They showed up at the fire, and they're like, what? So we've got...
So she's going to have to do some serious generalship here.
We've got the Dwarf Warriors here around the fire, which remember is one of the
2 objectives.
Yeah. Back here I have my Tree Revenants in this corner.
And for this game we decided that since the whole table is lightly forested, that there are no Sylvaneth Wildwoods on the table, but they can still walk the ways, but they'll just have to show up within a certain amount of inches of a table edge. I think it's 6.
Yeah.
So here we have the Free Guild Guard, and they have their halberds, and they're set and ready to go.
Yep.
Good steady infantry. Here we have the Bretonnian Knights of the Realm.
And then I have my Kurnoth Hunters here.
Very cool.
And my Saurus Warriors on this side of the board.
Very cool.
So they just showed up, and they're kind of scared. But we got this.
Alright, I think we got this. So this is the state of the game. 2 sides lined up, ready to collide. Alright, let's roll off for first turn. Alright guys, this is for first turn.
6.
And a 3.
Woohoo!
So Forces of Order, turn 1. Okay, Forces of Order, turn 1, hero phase.
Alright, so Jezebel is going to start off the hero phase with Inspiring Presence on the Free Guild Guard.
Awesome.
So they do not have to take battle shock tests for this whole turn.
And that automatically goes off, cool.
Yep.
And what do you have for your command traits, special abilities?
I have Master of Defense, which is anytime I get wounded, I can roll a dice for each wound, mortal or regular. And if I roll a 6, then I don't take that wound.
Okay.
And then I have the Phoenix Stone, which allows me in every hero phase to regain 1 health point.
1 wound.
1 wound, yeah.
So in the hero phase, you can regain 1 wound automatically without a roll for the Phoenix Stone.
Yes.
Very cool. Alright, so You used your Inspiring Presence ability, so you can't use a different one. I think you're allowed to just use one per turn.
Yes. Onto my spells.
Onto your spells, that's true. Okay, we're on still on hero phase here, and our spell weaver is going to start casting some spells.
Yeah, I'm not in range for anything, so I'm going to defend myself.
Okay.
I am going to give I'm going to try to roll and see if I can roll Mystic Shield on my Bretonnian Knights.
Very good. It's a cast on a 6.
Alright, an 8.
You got it.
And I don't think you're in range to dispel anything.
No, I don't have any. I don't have any spellcasters.
Oh. Well, that's a change.
Yeah, that's. I always bring Zinch, guys. If you've seen the previous reports, and I either bring a Lord of Change or a Herald of Zinch or both. Sometimes the Changeling. So not having anybody is, unusual.
It's interesting, right?
All right.
All right, I'm going to move on to movement.
So the Bretonnian Knights are at +1 for their armor save.
Yes. All right, I'm going to move my Tree Revenants. They're 5 inches.
So the Free Guild Guard are moving up their 5 inches.
5 inches.
Okay.
They're in a nice little rank. I kind of like the square bases, to be honest.
Yeah, I've gotten used to the round ones now from playing 40k and the New Age of Sigmar. But yeah, the square bases look great when they're in a larger unit, when they're all ranked up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm going to choose to try and march with my lizard men.
You're going to run them up?
Mm-hmm. So they are going to run.
Okay. Run d6 in addition. And you're going to go 5. What's your normal move?
5. So
Alright, so you're going 10. Very good. Those are some fast lizard men. Jeez. And with this tiny board, it's like you just cover ground. First turn, you're halfway up the board. I can see sort of a pattern that's going to develop here. You have to sort of counter each other's moves really quickly.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm sort of being funneled between all these trees.
Yeah, you do have to move around the terrain. It doesn't actually subtract anything, but what it does is it blocks space, so you can have to move around it. If anything's low, you can move directly over it, though, like some of the flatter rocks. Alright, next we have the Kurnoth Hunters.
Yes.
Kurnoth Hunters moving up 5 inches.
$10 inches for my
Bretonnian Knights.
Bretonnian Knights. But they, let's see. Yeah, they're just going to do that. Just going to put them here.
Alright. Yeah, things are getting real pretty fast over here. So that was a regular move.
Yep.
They can try and long bomb the chariot. Probably that's 12
Yeah,
inches. Yeah.
Don't predict all of my moves.
That's true, you're right. I shouldn't put words in another general's mouth.
Okay. I'm just gonna, these guys have a 4-inch move. I'm gonna just rearrange them a little bit.
Very good. Form a little shield wall.
Okay.
And your general's going to stay where she is?
She can move 6 and she can fly.
Yeah, Spellweavers don't normally fly, but because the model has wings, we gave her the special role of being able to fly.
Well, I guess I'll just have to kind of make her vulnerable, otherwise she can't hit anything.
Alright. So, state of the Forces of Order battle line. Units basically all moving up at their various speeds. with the exception of the dwarves who are hanging back to guard this objective.
Yes. Okay. I am now moving on to shooting phase, but I don't think I have anything that can shoot.
Yeah, it's rare for an order army, but that seems to be the case here.
Alright.
We also should mention that Shelby's dwarf miners are held in reserve because they have a special
they're
rule
underground.
where they are underground and they can pop up through a mine shaft somewhere on the board later on. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the rules have to be 3 inches away from an enemy.
Yes.
And they can't land in terrain, obviously, so they would have to be in an open part of the board.
Yeah.
Okay, so shooting phase is a moot point here. So we're moving right on to charges or assaults.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. How far would it be?
You'd
Yeah,
have to,
I could make it with a double 6.
You could, yeah. And you don't move forward the distance, so you might as well try.
Yeah.
You never know. Stranger things have happened, ladies and gents. And
I got it.
Jesus. Alright. That's amazing. And double 6s will get you within striking range. And
I have lances, so I have a 2-inch
reach. Remember, they don't have their pile in straight off the bat. They have to straggle out as 12 inches from each model.
Alright.
So, here we have the Bretonnian Knights made their stunning, fantastic charge distance, and they're in hand-to-hand with my Chaos Chariot, but I think they may just be close enough for a unit or two of mine to pile in.
Mm-hmm.
So, they've, obviously they're going to get to strike first.
Yes.
Alright, it's moving right into combat phase. You have a 3-inch pile in. Get as many lances into combat as possible.
Alright. Let's see, so he can go over here.
Yes, and additionally you could move some guys even around that side.
Through the river, though?
Yes, for piling in, that's fine.
I think only he can really go.
Yeah, for piling in, it's absolutely fine.
And for him,
we're not going to dither around with that.
I don't think anybody else will make it in, though. I think that's it.
Okay. Alright, now they get some bonuses when they charge.
Yes, they do. And remember, they have Mystic Shield.
They do have Mystic Shield. They're going to be beefed. Okay, guys, we've got 7 Bretonnian Knights of the Realm, which are within 2-inch striking distance. And they are charging, which gives them a additional attack, so they're at 2 attacks each. They're also at +1 damage for charging with their lances, so they're going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. They also have Mystic Shield, and their shields give them +1 save when they charge. So they're at hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and they have a 2+ save. So they're going to be hard to fight in this combat. 14 attacks, ladies and gents, 3s and 3s. Oof. Are there any 1s or 2s in there?
Yeah, 3.
Couple. There you go. You beat the odds there. That's well over 50%.
Freeze.
Oof. And all you're targeting my chariot for all those attacks.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. 9.
9 saves. Alright guys, we've got 9 wounds on my poor chariot here with that spectacular Bretonnian charge. And I'm saving on 4s. So let's see. Oh, that's bad news. So we're letting 6 wounds go through. I've got 7. I'm down to 1 wound remaining. Okay.
Okay, now we have horses.
Yes, you do have horse attacks. So you're also going to have 14 attacks from your horses. That's going to be 4s and 4s. Here we go. Okay, guys. Here we have the Bretonnians' war horses attacking 4s and 4s. Oof. Yeah, I'm done. I'm toast, guys. This ain't looking good for Skeeter.
This one was a hit. It
Got
wasn't
it.
a 6, though. I just knocked it. Okay.
You have a 3 in there? Oh, that one hit, you said.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, this one, no.
No? Okay.
Got
okay.
it.
Alright, now 4s again.
Okay.
Let's see if I can roll really well and survive this. We've got to make 4+ saves. You know? You never know.
Hey, I rolled double 6s on my chart.
You did, you did. So you owe me one. Come on, dice gods. Nil desperandum. Never say die. Oh, he's done. Yeah, there's 3 1s in there. You cursed me.
I did. It's because you won last night.
Swing. That's true. A couple nights ago, I won Napoleonic skirmish game, Chosen Men, and now this is my comeuppance here. Alright, I have a few options here. That charge put you within striking distance of a number of my units.
Yes.
If you're within 3 inches, I get a pile in to attack.
Got it.
So I'm going to move my Herald of Corn in, and he's going to make an attack. Alright, boys, we got 4 attacks. Any to hit roll of 6 inflicts a mortal wound for a decapitating blow.
Ouch.
No 6s, and I'm hitting on 3, so that's 2 hits.
Yay.
I'm also wounding on 3s with a rend of -1. So I've got one wound. You're at a 2-up save.
Yep.
So you're now to 3-up.
Got it.
You have 2 wounds each. Saved! Darn Bretonians! Oh my god. So he's going to use his special ability. It's called the Blood Must Flow. After a Herald of Corn attacks in the combat phase, pick another Bloodletter unit within 8 inches. That unit can immediately pile in an attack.
That's why you did
So
that.
8 inches would be these guys here.
Wow.
So those guys are going to come in and flank. And that's going to put probably only 2 in combat, but that's fine. Because this counts as the pile-in. They don't get their additional 3.
This is a big combat.
This is going to be a big, messy combat. And then these guys are already within 3. So they're going to get their normal pile-in to fight as well. So here we go with our attacks from the Bloodletters. Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne. Alright, so that's going to put me with 4 base to base.
I imagine that they're like swords and their like coals are like really hot, and then when they step into the river, it's like shh.
Yeah, it hisses. You're right. There's steam
it, like,
rising
cools.
off the river.
Yeah.
You know, guys, we'll get special effects in here one day. Don't you guys worry. So 4 are going to make it in, because the 8 inches, from the way I read it, counts as your pile-in. It's not It's not an 8-inch charge followed by a pile-in. It's an 8-inch pile-in.
Got it.
So whoever made it, made it.
Got it.
Okay, so we're going to be hitting on 4s.
So you get 3 hits.
Wounding on 3s with a -1 rend.
Alright.
And that's the 6s are to hit.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're going to get your saves from these.
Got it.
So go ahead and roll me 2 3-up saves with the rend of -1. Alright, you make both of them. You've been acing it. Now, we also have a 3-inch pile-in for this unit here. And they're going to go ahead and make their best effort to pile in. He's going to get in. He's not. He is. He is base to base. He will probably just fall short. So we're going to have 3 or 4 attacks coming out of these guys towards this unit in addition. So that's my 3-inch pile-in. So,
oh my goodness, it's messy.
It's messy. This is a messy game. That's why
Corn is messy.
That's why we like the round bases and a bigger table. But you know what? This is it's been a crazy game already, and this is turn 1.
Yeah.
This is nuts. All right, here we go. Any 6s? Yes.
Oh shoot.
2 automatic mortal wounds. We finally kill one of these guys. Woof, that was a lot of cornade attacks though it took to do that. And we're going to go ahead and do a 3-inch pile-in for our Herald of Slaanesh. And she's going to get to fight. She's very fast and puts out a lot of attacks. So her 6s, when she rolls to wound, I believe, she gets to immediately make a
mortal wound?
No, an extra attack.
Oh, an extra attack.
And
That's
it's to hit. It's rolling to hit. So she's got her claws with 6 attacks. And 6s generate an extra roll of the dice. So I'm going to get 1 extra attack. I'm just going to re-roll one of my misses. Okay, good. So we're hitting on 3s. That's going to be 4 out of 6. Beat the odds there. Pretty good.
Very nice.
Now we're going to wound on a 4+ with a rend of -1. Alright, so I got 3 3-up saves for your Bretonians.
Alright.
Here you go. Alright, 1 more floating wound. I'll take it. Now, I'm going to have to measure here, but I think that the Demonettes will get in, and they will. I'm going to get 3. And then their mates who can make it in base to base with them will also get an attack, unless they fall behind the terrain, so she should be alright. Actually, she's going to be just out of range. Only if you make it to perfect base to base do you get the extra attack, because it's a 1-inch.
Right.
So she's just out and everybody else is just out.
This is a pretty battle with the blue of the river and the reds and the greens.
A lot of vibrant colors here. Yeah, we don't paint boring colors.
Meekish.
Yeah, no we don't. We really have a lot of guts when we paint. 2 attacks each from 4 models. It's going to be 8. Alright, so we're 4s and 4s of the random -1. 6s to hit, generate an extra attack. I got 1 6, terrible roll. Yeah, still a terrible roll. So just 1 hit. I need a 4 to wound. Goes through, random -1, you're at a 3+ save.
Beautiful.
And you make it. You've been rolling great saves today.
Today? I've been
That's
rolling great
awesome.
in general today.
Just in general.
Yeah.
All right.
It's to make up for the other game.
Yeah, we won't talk about that other
No.
game. But you guys should check it out. It's called The Chosen Men, a Napoleonic skirmish game video. It's in our, it's right on our channel. So we've got combat resolution now. We have the chariot would have been the one that ran,
So, and it's already dead.
and you didn't cause wounds to any one of these units.
I don't think so. So I don't think you have to take battle shock.
Okay, all right. So that's fine, and we're just remain stuck in combat.
Beautiful.
Hey guys, this is Chaos, turn 1. The armies of Chaos have a trait, it's called Unpredictable Destruction. Every unit within 8 inches of your warlord rolls a d6, and on a 6, they add +1 to their to-hit rolls. I took the warlord trait, which actually brings that 6 down to a 5. So I'm going to roll for every unit within 8 inches of my general, and on a 5 or 6, they get to add 1 to their to-hit rolls. So 8 inches, that's going to be pretty much everybody over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, first for the skull cannon of corn. 5 or 6, baby! Oh, that's the opposite of what I need. Alright, the fiery sword, bloodletters. Got it. They're at +1. The golden blade, bloodletters. Got it. They're at +1. The herald himself. No. My herald of Slaanesh. No. My demonettes of Slaanesh. Yes. So all of my troop choices basically have it, all my core units. The 2 units of bloodletters and the unit of demonettes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just show you guys one quick model here. This is a Reaper Mini, the Flying Gorilla. Actually, during the course of the game, we managed to break one of my Screamer models. So we're going to use him as a substitute while we're waiting for the glue to set on that other Screamer. So that'll be back in the next video, guys, but for the meantime, we just thought that it would be kind of funny and whimsical to use this guy.
Tzeentch is unpredictable.
He is. He's the Lord of Change, so he can change anything to any form he wants. So kind of fits with his little lore there. All right, so that's going to be my hero phase. I don't have any magic to cast, so we're going to move right into movement phase. What Shelby did here was actually really good tactically because she tied down most of my army, and unless I want to roll to see if they can break away, then I'm pretty much stuck there. So we're just going to do some regular movement for our other guys here. I've got my beastmen, and they're going to move 5 inches.
Out of the house.
Out of the house. So they actually have a 6-inch move.
Oh, good.
So they're going to come straight out with their 6 inches and come up here to this fence line.
Okay.
We're coming out. There we go.
Very nice.
Yeah, these are fun little models. I got so many of these old Warhammer Fantasy guys at a discount, like I was saying before. And we just went with a very basic brown paint job on these guys. And there's a champion in there, but there's no musician or standard bearer. The way we play it is, even though they come free, a lot of people just give the rules to the miniatures. If we actually don't have the musician or the standard bearer, we don't use the rules for them. So, for instance, my bloodletters here have a musician and a standard bearer, while these Golden Blade bloodletters don't. So these guys are going to get the benefits, and these guys aren't. Alright. The Skull Cannon is going to go ahead and stay right where he is, because I think he can shoot at everything from there. Alright, I have a 16-inch move for my Screamers, which is basically the whole board here.
16 inches.
16 inches. It's ridiculous, but I can't be within 3 inches of anybody, so they're going to have to like stop about here, like 14 inches away.
Flying gorilla.
He's just going to go there because it's fun, and I think he likes the top of that rock. Alright, and the other 2 Screamers.
He's like Godzilla with wings.
Basically, yeah, that's his whole deal. I think they were making fun of the flying monkeys in Wizard of Oz, in a way. Alright, so that's going to be my movement phase on this side of the board. On the other side of the board, I have my Hounds of Chaos. Moving up 10 inches, the Hounds of Chaos. They're going to come right up to the edge of the river and stop. Now guys, when you look at the General's Handbook, there's a points cost of 80 points for 10 of these models, but they used to come in units of 5. So what we did was we charged 40 points for 5.
Cool.
Alright, that's going to be the end of my movement phase. I'm going to move right into shooting, and for once, the Order forces don't really have any shooting, but the Chaos forces have something. They have a cannon, but this thing always misses.
So does my mortar. My mortar misses all
Yeah, I think
the
we
time.
stopped using the Empire mortar for that reason.
Even though it doesn't have a bad profile.
No.
I just always roll really badly.
Yeah, I think we all do. So I got a 3+3+. With a rend of -2. This should do some damage, but it's only got one shot. So if you miss, you miss.
Right, it's hard to roll for it.
I'm going to try and shoot some of those dwarves off of the objective.
Ooh.
I want my screamers to go and take that. I'm going to check if you're within range. Yep, you got it. Alrighty then. 3 and 3. Alright, that's a hit. 3 to wound. No! I think I jinxed myself. I have to stop saying that it never hits, because then it will never hit.
It never hits.
Alright, the next round of shooting, I think that my cannon is going to hit. And wound.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. It's going to hit and wound, guys. We're going to be sure of that.
Sure.
Alright, we're going to declare some charges.
Alright.
My dogs are going to try and charge your lizardmen.
Okay.
Remember, their charge range is going to be cut in half because they're crossing the river.
Got it.
We just decided that. That's a house rule, because in the rules it says that you have to climb the amount of inches of terrain. Like if you're climbing up the tower, you would measure the height of the tower, and that's how many inches you need to get up. The same thing with the hill or a cliff.
And this is flat.
Yes, exactly.
But it's difficult to go through a river.
Exactly, even if it's just a stream. So we're going to cut the movement in half. So I'm not going to make a charge with 1.5 inches.
That means I get to charge you.
Exactly. It's not going well for the forces of chaos, ladies and gents. This is my comeuppance for a Napoleonic skirmish game the other night when I just trounced the Allied army. Alright, we're going to declare a charge against the dwarves. And we're going to make it with a double 6.
That's like what I got earlier.
Alright, but we're going to be close enough to bring in your halberdiers, so this is going to turn into another scrum of a melee here. That's the problem with using a smaller board, and I know they suggest a 4x4, but I think next time, even
Just
at
do a
that,
bigger board.
Yeah, we're going to do the 6x4
Because otherwise it
from now on.
squishes.
Yeah,
You just get a squishy battle.
We're running into the situation where everybody's so close that you're drawing everyone into combat
Yeah.
by being 3 inches away.
It's tactically very squishy.
Yeah, it's kind of it doesn't look very good, but that's all right. The models are cool, terrain's cool, and you know it's interesting to just try something different. All right, we're gonna move right on into combat phase. Since it's my turn, I get to choose who strikes first, and this is gonna be a lot of units fighting here. I'm gonna go ahead and strike with my Screamers of Tzeentch. They have 3 attacks each, 9 total. And they hit on a 4 and wound on a 3. Screamers of Tzeentch, ladies and gentlemen, 9 attacks, 4s and 3s. Alright, so that's not a lot of hits. Just 4 hits. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and try and wound down some 3s. And that's 2 wounds. It's no rend, believe it or not. Alright, so your saves are going to be, I believe, 5+.
With a reroll, right?
You have a 5+ with a reroll because of your shields. Reroll it. Alright,
Nope,
one
one gone.
dwarf. Swing! Okay.
Alright, so I am going to roll against Steven's Herald of Tzeentch.
Herald of Slaanesh.
Slaanesh. And a couple of guys, since they can't make it in, are going to hit against his bloodletters.
Alright, so what we're looking at here is the Bretonnian Knights striking back. They've got a 2-inch reach on their lances there, so we're going to get 6 against the Herald and 3 against the bloodletters here, the Flaming Sword bloodletters.
Yep, I'm going to roll the 6 first.
Alright, you're hitting on 3s, wounded on 4s.
Hitting
Nice,
on
everybody hits.
3s,
Nice.
wounding on 4s.
You're going to get 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
And since there's no rend now, I'm going to take 2 5-up saves. Make one, fail one. So she, I believe, is down to 5 wounds. Put a counter dice back here. All right, and you're 3 against the bloodletters.
Got it. 1.
And wounding. 5 plus save, or he goes down. And he's not gonna. That's a cocked dice, actually. He's still not gonna make it. Shwing! All right, we're gonna take out a regular guy here. All right, so that's the situation.
It's your turn to go again.
1 wound against the Herald of Slaanesh, and one slain in the bloodletter unit. All right, next I'm gonna swing back with everybody. So I'm gonna start with the bloodletters.
Well, you get to do 1 unit.
I don't. Oh yeah,
And
I
then
get to do
I get
one
to
unit.
go
Then your
again.
dwarves. I forgot about the dwarves. You're right. Trying to cheat again, guys.
I know.
It's a good thing she catches me. I do that sometimes. All right, so bloodletters. We're gonna be hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Any rolls of a 6 to hit
Is a mortal wound.
is a mortal wound. All right, so we're gonna do our 3-inch pile in for the bloodletters over here. He's gonna move around to here. He's gonna come around to here. And he's going to move to here. This guy's going to move up and into that gap as he moves over. Alright, this is my champion with 2 strikes. There is a command in this unit.
Great.
Alright, and then these 3 are not going to get to strike. They're still going to be in the back row here. Because of the terrain, even though if they were on open ground, they would be able to strike base to base. They're just not going to make it on this terrain. Alright, 4s and 3s. And that's going to be 1 wound. So go ahead and make a 3 plus save on there. Actually a 4 plus, but you made it anyway. Because I got a -1 rend. And you go ahead and strike with your dwarves.
Alright. 9 attacks.
Got it.
Hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
It's 10, you have a champion in there.
Okay.
So just roll one of your misses.
Okay.
There you go. Alright. Nice shooting, Tex.
7 hits.
Well above average.
And
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
-1 rends puts me at a 6-up save. Alrighty then, we're gonna be at
-4.
so everybody
Has
is
3 wounds.
everybody has 3 wounds, so you're gonna kill one and cause a wound.
floating.
So we're gonna kill the gorilla guy.
Gorilla.
You didn't last long, my poor friend. That's what you get for substituting a non-Games Workshop model in your games, guys.
Yeah.
They know, and somehow they make you roll terribly to kill them.
So this is wound. You were doing wounds left on her, so you want wounds left.
Sure, you're right. Keep it consistent. Alright, so my next move, and I forgot to do my +1 to hit on these guys, but that's okay. I'll use the +1 to hit on the next unit of bloodletters.
Got it.
So we got a 3-inch pile in. On the golden blades, one's going to move to here. These guys don't have as much room to maneuver, but we can get in a couple of extra attacks, perhaps. He's going to swing around this way. Maybe one more is going to get in. Alright. Then the rest of these guys are going to pile up into this fray here. It's a messy-ass combat. Alright guys, we actually took a look at her statistics for the Herald of Slaanesh, and she has 5 wounds, so she's down to 4.
Okay.
Okay, so my bloodletters, instead of 4s, they're hitting on 3s now. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks for this unit. We're going to be on 3s and 3s with a -1 rend. 6s cause mortal. Okay, 3 hits. To wound. The 6 only on the to hit gets a mortal, so
Right.
they're just going to be 3 wounds.
Got
At a
it.
-1 rend, giving you a 4 plus
Plus
save.
save.
Alright, 2
2
wounds. Enough to kill a guy.
And I had 1 floating.
So there's still 1 floating. And 1 guy goes down. Alright, I don't think you have any units left to strike with.
Nope.
Alright, so I'm just going to go right down the line here. Alright, we're on 3s and 3s, with 6s to hit being mortals.
On your
Herald of Corn.
Herald of Corn.
Alright, so 6s, that's 1 mortal
One
wound.
mortal,
Just
so
gonna
one
get rid
guy's
of the
dead.
floating. And 2 regulars. 3s to hit with a -1 rend. No, got nothing to wound there. All right, doing great, lads, doing great. All right, we've got next up in line is the Herald of Slaanesh. We have 6 attacks. We're hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s with a -1 rend. 6s make an extra attack.
Got it.
1 extra attack, I'm going to reroll this one. And that's going to give me a hit.
Nice.
So we're going to take those, and we're going to roll them. 4+ to wound. And that's going to give me 2 wounds at a -1 rend, so 2 4+ saves.
1 save.
1 floating wound again. Now we're going to do our pile-ins for our demonettes. 3 inches. She's going to get to here. She's going to get to here. And that might be just about it. Maybe she can get in a strike as well. Alright, so we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 attacks.
Alright, 12 attacks.
6s are going to generate an extra attack. Alright, 1 6, I'm going to reroll one of these 1s. That was terrible rolling. Oof. That's really crummy, guys. Boo hiss. And they hit on 4s, not 3s like the Herald.
Worse.
That's 3 hits, ladies and gents. 3 hits.
Out of 12.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty bad.
like quarter.
Yep.
Alright, so I can do math. Don't worry, guys. 4s to wound with a -1 rend. 1 wound with a -1 rend. You do have a floating wound in there. Yes! I kill our target knight here, and that gets them out of that combat as well. Thank goodness.
Boo.
Alright, so it looks like the knights are going to be taking a test. They caused 1 casualty. And
2 casualties.
we just 1 casualty this turn.
Oh, I see casualties, not wounds.
Yes, we looked that up, guys, from the last turn, and it's actually casualties. Models slain is the exact wording.
Not wounds.
Right, and it's only if there's models slain out of a unit, so that chariot wouldn't have caused any other units to panic.
Got it.
So, my bloodletters lost 1, and you lost 3 models, so you lose the combat by 2 models slain.
Got it.
So, their bravery...
Their bravery is 6.
Their bravery is 6, and they're going to be at -2, so they're down a bravery 4. So you're going to roll a d6.
Yay!
1, and I think, let's see, so you rolled really a 3, so you're fine. You're fine. That was amazing.
What do you think, Steven?
I was hoping to have at least one of those knights run away.
Nope.
But it's alright, it happens. Sometimes you just, gods aren't with you. Alright guys, we forgot about these awesome halberdiers here, Empire Halberdiers, Free Guild Guard. And they're going to pile in and make an attack. They were within 3 inches, so they're automatically drawn into the combat. You're going to get 5.
Okay, yes, I agree. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s.
With a -1 rend because of their halberds.
1, 2, and 1.
-1 rend puts me at a 6+. And I don't make it, so this model's down to 1 wound.
Beautiful.
Alright, that puts us on to Forces of Order, turn 2.
Okay, so Jezebel is going to do Inspiring Presence again on the Free Guild Guard. They are locked in combat, so they're going to stay there. She is going to see if she's in range to do a spell.
You can cast on units in combat as well.
Yes.
In this game, I believe.
So I am going to... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do her Blessing of Life spell, which is where on a casting value of 5, I can choose a unit within 16 inches, and I can return D3 slain models.
D3 slain models? Wow. Casting value of 5?
Yep. And I get it on a 12.
Alright.
Do you
D3?
have anyone? You don't have anybody, right?
I've got nothing to dispel that. So...
You're cocked?
No, we'll keep the 3.
Okay.
So that's going to be 2 models.
2 models.
So you're going to return 2 Knights of the Realm. That basically undoes my combat round.
Oops.
You can just put them right behind the ranks. And then they'll do their pile-in from there.
Got it.
Perfect.
Okay, so that was pretty good.
That was very good. That might even, you know, be a game changer.
Okay. Jezebel is also going to move. Let's see. She wants to move a little bit away so that she doesn't automatically have to do any pile-ins.
Got
so
it.
she's going to use her 6 inches to just kind of move over a little bit behind the rock.
Got it.
That's all for my magic and my hero phase. She doesn't have any wounds on her, so I don't have to use my special ability to regen anything. I'm going to go ahead and try...
You're going to have to do regular movement phase.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try to run these guys, I think. My Kurnoth Hunters.
It's 1 dice. So they're regular movement plus 2. So they're going to move 8 inches.
8.
They're
But
regular.
3 of it is into the river.
Just put them up to the bank. Slightly over the bank, yeah. There you go.
Perfect. Okay.
Regular move on the lizardman. Get him in closer for the charge.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. So they're a little bit closer.
You also have your tree revenants.
Yes. They are going to try to run as well. They move 5 inches, so they can go 7.
Tree revenants running up 7.
Alright.
Alright, that looks like movement phase.
That is movement phase.
No shooting phase?
I don't have a shooting phase. So I'm going to move directly onto charges. I'm going to try and charge my lizardmen.
Sensible. You're going to make it in.
Make it in. So let's see, they have...
They're going to have 4 inches of
7.
movement.
Yeah. So... even these guys can... Well, but it's through the river.
Right, so their movement's halved. So it's actually 4.
Okay.
4 for the guys in the front ranks to move forward.
Yeah, so everybody in this rank, I think, can move up to here.
Yep. You got it. Just the guys behind that rank aren't going to make it in.
Right.
There you go. Those square bases coming in handy. Nice even ranks. Looks like
Yeah.
old fantasy battle here.
Okay.
So you're going to move right on to combat phase.
Right on to combat.
Who's striking first?
I think the Bretonian Knights are going to start first.
Good call. You got a 3-inch pile in. Get him into whoever you want to get him into.
6.
Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. Against the bloodletters.
Yep.
Alright. 3s and 4s. Again, very good roll. Alright, again, very good roll. I'm on a
4.
I'm on a 5+ save. Alright, so that's going to save 1, kill 3.
Okay, and now 2 against your Herald.
3s and 4s. 2 hits. And 2 wounds.
1 wound.
No, 1 wound, right. 4s. Got it. 5+ save on the Herald. Yep, made it.
Nice.
Aced it. Alright, who's striking back next?
Your turn.
I'm going to strike back with my Screamers next. 6 attacks on 4s and 3s against the dwarfs.
Got it.
Good.
Very good roll.
Alright guys, get them! Alright, 3 wounds. 3 5-up saves with a reroll.
Roll.
Wow. Just 1.
I saved them.
Oh, man! This is rough! This is rough!
Really rough.
Alright, so, you swing next.
Tail boots. I guess no. I'm gonna do Lizardmen.
Lizardmen next. 7 attacks from the Lizardmen, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, no rend. Okay, so
4.
dogs saving on 6s. And that's 1 saved, and 3 wounds. 3 dogs have been slain by the lizard men. Next, we're going to swing with our bloodletters here. The 1 unit with the champion, they're at +1 to hit. Bloodletters attacking, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. 6s are decapitating blow.
Woohoo!
7 attacks, including the champion. That's going to be
Much better.
with a reroll because the cocked. So 2, that's going to be a dead knight. But it'll just come back. And wounding on 3s. -1 Ren, putting you at a... did you rearmor them with Mystic Shield again?
No.
So they are going to be at a 5+ save now. That's a big difference. Wow! Okay, so just another floating wound. Okay, back to you.
Alright. Time for the halberts. My free guild guard. 1, 2. So we're doing a pile-in again. We're going to use our 3 inches.
The Free Guild Guard attacking with their halberds. 4s with a -1 ren.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do 3 hits.
6s to save. And that's going to be 2 wounds, so we're going to kill 1 and put a wound on the second.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, next we're going to come back to my side of things here, and we think we want to go ahead with our next unit of bloodletters. 5 is all we can get. 3s and 3s. 6s are mortal. No 6s, only 2 hits. 3s again with a -1 rend. 2 saves of 5 up. Alright,
Nope.
so another one down with a floating wound. Okay, back to you.
Alright.
Dwarves?
Dwarves.
5 attacks from the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting on,
4s.
wounding on,
4s.
3s.
3s.
With your axes.
Yeah, I think I got 1.
Okay,
And
1 wound. No rend, so I'm at a 5+ save. Nope, we're going to be down 2 wounds. We are down to 1 wound remaining on the last Screamer of Tzeentch.
Okay.
Alright, back on the Chaos side of things, we have a Herald of Khorne with 4 attacks, 3s and 3s. With a -1 rend, 6s are decapitating blow. So, we've got 4 hits, 3s again. And that's going to be 4 wounds, -1 rend, putting you at 5+ save. So 1 more model for the floating wound, and actually 2 models.
Yes.
With the 3 wounds. So we're going to take away 2 of these. Alright, but you do have that life spell you can do again next turn. Alright, now, technically I think this unit has to be pulled back into combat. What do you think, guys? Looks like it.
I think so.
That's a strange thing about this game, but it's kind of more realistic, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, if you were that close to a melee, you would
strike.
jump in.
There should be a way to, I think, this could be something interesting. If you were able to roll a leadership test in order to not have to pile in, not to disengage. I know you can already do that, but maybe you can avoid the pile in by
From the
having
beginning.
really good discipline.
Yeah.
That would be something interesting. Alright, next we're going to attack with our Demonettes. We're going to end up with 3 models, giving us 6 attacks, 4s and 4s. 6s to hit, generate an extra attack. Alright, so 3 hits, no extra attacks. Weep whoa.
Weep.
Oh, just 1 wound. Alright, you're at a -1 rend, putting you to a 5+.
Nope.
Floating wound. Alright, and you have nothing left to strike with, correct?
Correct.
Alright, so I'm just going to finish the rest of my attacks here. We're going to have a Herald of Slaanesh, and that's it. She has 6 attacks, 3s and 4s. 6s generate an extra attack. 1 extra attack, everything hits, so we're going to toss an extra dice out there. No hit. That's alright, 6 is good. 4s to wound. With a -1 rend. Excellent.
Nice.
5 4+ save for the Bretonians.
Because there's no rend, right?
There's a -1 rend.
So I'm a 5.
5+. You're right. Very honest, ladies and gents. Very honest. Could have gotten away with a couple extra saves there if you cheated. But you're just not like that. So let's see. Floating wound. Is going to kill a guy.
Yep. And then kill another guy, and then another floating wound.
Kill another guy and another floating wound. Got it. And then the last two models, one's wounded. So we'll see. You can only get 3 back.
Yes.
So at least we're chipping away here. Even if you get 3 back, you'll be down to 5 models, which is manageable. All right, so that's going to be the end of combat phase. It looks like we have a... No, actually, we almost forgot the dogs. Dogs get to fight back, ladies and gents. 2 attacks each, 4s and 4s. 3 hits. 4s, no rend. 1 save for the Saurus Warriors of 5+. Plus. Alright, so that's going to be 2 models. And you killed 3, so the dogs are at -1 bravery. The dogs now at bravery 3. So we're trying to roll 3 or lower. And we do! We're okay.
Very nice.
So they're locked in combat. Next, this combat over here. You've slain in this combat phase 3 bloodletters.
And you've slain...
And I've slain... Alright, so the Bretonians are at 5. So they need to roll a 1 in order to stay...
1.
3! Well, I think they only lose 2... I think that's the rest of them.
Yeah, they're gonna run.
Let's see what their bravery is, but I'm pretty sure that's the last 2. So 5 ran. Their bravery 6, so they would have needed a 1 to say. So they're bravery 1, so 3 is going to go down to 2. So 2 models run away. That's the last 2 models. Unit destroyed. Thank goodness. Man, that was a really long time you tied those guys up.
I know.
Alright guys, this is Chaos, turn 2. We're going to roll for unpredictable destruction. We're going to roll for the Herald himself on a 5+. He gets it, +1 to hit. The Fiery Blade Bloodletters, get it, they're +1 to hit. The Golden Blade Bloodletters, no. And the Herald of Slaanesh, no. And the Demonettes of Slaanesh, no. So just the Fiery Blades and the Herald.
They're Herald, yeah.
Alright, so these guys move 5 inches. And so he's going to be up to here. And everybody else is just going to try and rank up behind him. So 2.5 is going to get him out of here. 2.5. 2.5. Half move through the river. 2.5. Leaves him in coherency. These guys are going to move up there 5 as well. Putting them on dry land. 2.5 for the Herald, where he's going to go sideways just to get out of the river. Demonettes go 6, so they're going to get a nice long move up to here out in the open. Making movies, singing songs, and fighting around the world. Oh, they didn't like that song. Okay, guys, these guys move 5 inches. So they're going to come up right to the edge. Everybody's on the border of the river. He's just behind. Okay. The Skull Cannon of Corn has just moved up slightly into this open ground. And we're going to go straight on to shooting. So, Skull Cannon hits on 3s and wounds on 3s. He's shooting at the Kurnoth Hunters. Hits on a 3. Wounds on a 3. Yes! We finally did something. It was all that positive energy I put into it last turn.
It's true.
See, you know, they get insulted when you say they don't work right.
Yep.
Alright, so we are a rend of -2. Kurnoth Hunters have a 4+ save, so they're at a 6+ save. So you save this one on a 6 and no damage goes through. Oh! Oh man, that would have done D6 damage with that one shot. That thing never works. Alright, so we're moving on here, and we're just going to forget about that guy for the rest of the game.
Are you sure?
Alright, here we go. We're going to go on a charge phase.
No.
The Beastmen are going to charge the Chronoth Hunters rather than be charged. Their charge range is going to be cut in half. That should still
They
make
it.
Yep, so 9 in half, that's going to be 4.5 inches. Alright. And there we are, Beastmen making their charge. We're going to try and long bomb a charge from our bloodletters over to here. Alright, we have an 8-inch charge with no rerolls or anything special for a banner or a horn. And we don't make it with a 6. Let's see if it's possible. 11 inches. Needing an 11 for the lead bloodletter to get into base to base. No. Alright. So that's not possible. We're going to need a 3-inch charge here. This is my...
Once.
We actually make it.
Damn.
So, yeah, 3 inches is actually going to put us right in base to base for this model. Okay.
But you'll get less pile in.
I will get a lot less pile in. Kind of a staggered out charge. Disordered. The Herald would need a 9-inch charge. She's going to go for it. And where she's not going to make it. None of my long bombs made it.
Mine did.
Yours did. Yeah, that was amazing with the double 6. And tied them up for a mucho long time.
Mucho.
Alright, so we're going to move straight into combats. I've got my Gores. They're going to attack first before they get wiped out by those guys. You're about to see what those Chronoth Hunters do, and they are ridiculous. So we got
I think
8.
Okay.
An inch.
Mm-hmm.
4s and 4s with 1 cocked die. There's no rend on this. One save of 4+. Thank you.
So I looked up the rules for the Chronoth Hunters, and the one thing I forgot to do was the Tangle Thorn Thicket, which is where at the charge phase I can declare that I'm putting the thicket up, and it allows me to re-roll failed save rolls.
Alright, so you're going to re-roll that one you failed, and that's going to be a 4+.
I still missed it.
Alright, that's the dice god setting everything straight.
Alright.
So, who's striking? You were thinking it before I said it.
Yeah.
3-inch pile in ought to get you all in.
Let me see. Not him. So he'll be back here.
Alright.
So I'm going to attack with my 4 Tree Revenants. They each get 2 attacks with their blades. They're going to be hitting on 4s and wounding on 3s with a -1 rend. Okay. Hitting on 4s.
That's going to be 3 hits. Wounding on 3s with a -1. Alright, it's all 3. Saving on 6s, ladies and gents. Bam! 1-6. Not bad. 2 of the Slaaneshi demons are gone. Alright. Alright, so we've... Shelby just checked the rules for these guys again, and since they're new to us, we've been doing a lot of that, we apologize. But they actually get a 6-inch pile in. So we're going to move this last miniature into combat, and he's important because first off, he's the head of the unit,
Yes.
which gives him extra attacks, and second off, he has a better weapon, he has this glaive.
Yes, so he's the leader, so he gets 4 attacks.
Excellent.
And he hits on 4s, wounds on 3s, but he does 2 damage each.
Wow.
Okay.
Any rend for that or no?
Yes.
-1?
Yeah, -1.
So
So
2
there's
wounds.
2 wounds.
I save him on 6s, each does 2 damage. This could be deadly. Nope, so
So we
4.
do 4.
Wow. Shwing! This guy actually killed my cockatrice last game. Deadly. Damn. Alright, so, here we go. We're going to actually try and strike with our Screamer of Tzeentch before he loses his last wound. He's got 3 attacks. Hitting on
4s, wounding on 3s.
We have 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. Alright,
Nice.
3 hits, wounding on 3s. Don't let me down now. Alright, 2 wounds, not bad, not bad.
And you're attacking against my
The
halberds or
dwarves.
my dwarves?
Always the dwarves.
So I get to re-roll.
5 up saves. 1 reroll, and 1 goes
dead.
bye-bye. Finally, 1 dwarf gone.
They're stubborn.
They are, they're stout like dwarves should be.
So my leader gets to add 1 to his attacks. So they each do 4 attacks. So my leader gets 5.
5 attacks for the leader. Does he roll set differently or no?
No.
Including the champion, we're at 13 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Wow.
Okay.
Any rend on that?
Yes. -1.
Wow. Say bye-bye to the beastmen.
Okay. 3s again. Okay.
Okay, so
7.
So the beastmen normally have a 5+ with their shields. They have a 4+ in the combat phase, -1 to their save from the rend. So we're at 5+, and all's right with the world. So that's going to be 5 models gone.
It's 2 damage each.
Oof, that's the squad, I think. There's only 10 of them there. The Great Blades of the Kurnoth Hunters cost 2 damage each. I failed 5 saves. That's 10. That's the whole unit gone.
Wow.
Shwing! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Kurnoth Hunters do in combat. So, the old Wood Elves got like a real boost in this, edition of the game, if you want to call it that, or this new game. And the Sylvaneth are just way more badass.
So instead of putting 1s because we've been counting down,
Okay.
I'm going to say that he has 4.
4 wounds
Because
left.
they have 5 wounds each and he took a wound
Got it.
last time.
Alright, so I'm going to swing back with somebody. I'm going to swing back with these 2 dogs.
Doggies.
4 attacks, 4s and 4s, no rend. 1 wound, you get a 5+ save. Nope.
Nope.
1 more lizard man goes away.
1 rend.
7 attacks from the dwarves, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, -1 rend. Against the Screamer of Zinch.
Okay.
Alright, so 6+ saves, and he's going to lose his last wound here, guys. Yep, gone. Shwing! Alright, so things were not looking good for the Allies before, after they lost that unit of Bretonnian Knights, but they seem to have made a recovery here, with the Kurnoth Hunters wiping out the Beastmen, the Dwarves finishing off the last Screamer, and this Demonette unit getting taken down to 4 models by the Tree Revenants. So, things have turned around.
And
Okay, Chaos is going to strike next with the Demonettes of Slaanesh, and we're going to pile in, getting 8 attacks, 4s and 4s, 6s generate an extra attack. Fours and 4s, 6s generate an extra attack. Alright, 4 6s.
very nice.
So we're going to reroll our 4 misses. Convenient. 4+. Alright, 2 more. Now we're going to wound on 4s with a -1 rend. Alright, so that's 3 saves for the Tree Revenants. 3 saves of 6+ for the Tree Revenants. Alright.
2.
How many wounds each?
They have 1 wound each.
Boy, so there's actually 2 models gone. Take your 2 regular guys out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that dude has a way pipe, doesn't he? This one.
Yes.
So that enables them to jump off near a table edge, so you might want to keep that.
Him.
This leaves you with your banner and your champion and your way pipes.
Got it.
Alright, so next the lizard men get to strike with a 3-inch pile in.
1 second.
So the Saurus Warriors are attacking my 2 Chaos Hounds, and they also get a bite attack, guys, which we forgot to use in the last battle round. So if these dogs survive their regular attacks, they're going to do a double bite attack on them for this turn and last turn.
Okay. 4s and 3s.
For your clubs. Alright. Any rend on that?
No.
All right, 6s to save. Here we go. None. So they are gone. So
no bites.
no bites. Aww. Right, moving straight on to Battle Shock. You killed. Okay, so we have some Battle Shock going on here for the Demonettes of Slaanesh. They lost 6 models. So they're going to need a 4 for everyone to stay. And they get a 1.
Very nice.
Alright, so next we're... actually, everything else was slain.
Yep, everything else was slain.
Yeah, the allies cleaned up. Let's see. So we have a Screamer gone here. Most of this unit gone here. And the dog's gone over there. The Beastman gone over here. Things are looking pretty empty, actually. The board was really crowded when the game started. And now I'm going to give you guys
it's cleaning up a bit.
Yeah, it's really cleaning up. Wow. Wow. Alright. Moving straight into Forces of Order. Turn 3. Now, this is an interesting situation because the mission clearly states that on the 3rd turn, if one player controls both objectives, meaning they have 5 or more models near the objective, and I think that there needs to be less enemy models, but we'll double check that, and then they control an objective. So you have a lot of models very close to this objective here, and you already control this objective.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this could be the end of the game, guys, if things go well for Shelby and poorly for me. So let's check it out.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do in my hero phase, let's see who we want to put Inspiring Presence on, because again, she doesn't have any wounds. I'm going to go ahead and put Inspiring Presence on the closest, the Tree Revenants.
Cool.
And I'm trying to decide between Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt. I think I'm going to go for Arcane Bolt, which goes off on a 5.
Who's your target?
The target is your Shiny Bloodletters.
Alright, what's the range on that?
It's 18 inches.
Alright, you make it.
Okay.
You got it.
5.
So that's D3 mortal. No saves allowed. 2.
Okay.
2 of the golden blades are gone. Alright, sent back to the warp where they belong.
Okay. She is also going to choose to move a little bit because she's a little bit too close.
Right on into movement phase.
Yes. She can move 5. She's going to come over here a little bit.
Okay.
Alright. What are we going to do next?
More movement.
Yes.
Going down the line over here, you have your dwarves and your halberdiers.
Yeah, I guess we'll just re-rank a little bit to use their movement.
You're going to move the dwarves up towards the objective a little bit closer?
Yeah.
Secure that?
Mm-hmm.
I
they
think
have
it's
a 4-inch move.
And it's 3 inches away from the objective, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you want 5 models or more to secure it. So that could be important.
Yes, let's see about this guy. Yeah, he can come up here, actually.
Good.
He can kind of scramble up the rocks.
And the halberdiers could lend a hand in some of these combats, maybe.
Yes.
You have to stay 3 inches away from an enemy model.
Yep. Gonna funnel through the trees here.
Yeah, so terrain, again, in this game is kind of strange. You just have to move around it, I guess. They haven't come up with a movement penalty yet for anything. But, you know, with all the, you know, sort of additions they've added on with the General's Handbook and the new War Scrolls and everything else, I wouldn't be surprised if they revamped their terrain rules.
And they can move 5, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
5-inch movement for the Colonel Hunters.
Mm-hmm. We want to stay 3 inches away, so we're going to come right up here.
Yeah, just line them up over there, it's fine. Good.
Okay. Alright, and then for the last part of my movement phase, I went ahead and popped up my miners on this part of the board. They have to stay within, out of reach of 9 inches from an enemy model.
Alright, so this is an important maneuver that Shelby just did because let's say the center of the house is the objective. If you're 5 inches away from the objective, which they are, and that will be a victory secured if somehow Shelby can knock this model out here. And it seems that she might intend to charge her lizardmen in to do that job.
Our Colonel Hunters charging into your Dark-Horned
Bloodletters.
Bloodletters
Got it.
with an 8.
If you keep them off of the river, they can probably get all of them in.
Yes, so he can come over here.
Yep.
Oops.
Let's move him over just a little bit. He has a little more movement than that. Got it. You're in with everyone. Nice.
Okay. And we're gonna declare a charge against the demonettes.
Just in case the tree revenants can't do it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep, they're 3 inches away. I think they have to.
Yeah.
So
they make
4.
it in with a 4.
And they can fight in a double rank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Shelby's Kurnoth Hunters are going to begin this combat phase by swinging into my poor little bloodletters here. They're not going to last very long. With 4 attacks each, and the Huntmaster gets to roll his separately because he hits on +1.
Yes.
So he's now hitting on.
He gets to, add 1 to the result of his hit rolls.
Okay, what does he normally hit on?
3s.
So he's going to be hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s with a -1 rend and 2 damage.
Okay.
So 3 hits. All hit, actually. Wounding on 3s. Alright, -1 rend puts me at a 6 up. And that's going to be 6 damage.
6 wounds.
So I think you've actually just done it with your champion.
Oh.
Wow. So Shelby didn't even need to roll for the rest of her models because her champion just caused 6 wounds. That is ridiculous. God. You get a lot of bang for your buck with these Kurnoth Hunters. They're one of the best units in the game. Alright, so the demonettes are going to be attacking. They're going to pile in so that they're all in strike range of these gents over here, the tree revenants. Okay, my demonettes have piled in so that they're all striking against the tree revenants. They have 2 attacks each, 4s and 4s. -1 rend, 6s generate extra attacks. Alright, I got 2 extra attacks, so I'm going to reroll 2 misses. Alright, we got an extra hit out of that. It was worth it. Good little rule. The demons all have something cool. They all have a special rule, all their core units. They got much better in this game. Alright. Oh, wow, that's pretty bad. Alright, -1 rend. So, their 5 plus goes to a 6. Alright, so you don't want to lose your champion. You don't want to lose your way pipes either, because you probably won't need to pile in again.
Right.
So, banner?
Yep.
Alright. Okay, who's striking next?
Okay, I'm going to be attacking with my Lizardmen against Steven's Chariot.
My Skull Cannon.
Skull Cannon. And I get 7 attacks, and I'm hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
Got it.
Ouch. Okay.
2 hits, 3s to wound.
Okay. 1.
Alright, and I'm going to roll a 5-up save for that. Which I lose 1 wound. I'll calculate how many he has left in a moment. I'm just going to rack them up for now.
Okay, now
you
I
have
get bites.
Bite attacks.
2 each. 14.
Yeah, that's their powerful jaws and Star Drake shields.
5s and 4s.
5s and 4s, you got it.
Much better this time.
Yeah, the jaws are going to do more than their clubs did.
Okay.
There's a couple 4s in there, yeah. A 3. Still pretty good.
Alright, so
2 wounds.
2.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and take 2 5-up saves, putting us down -3 wounds.
Ready.
Alright guys, we're going to pile in with our bloodletters, and after looking at the rules, this has 7 wounds, so he's down to 4 with the 3 that he took. And this is important because if she knocks that model off in my combat phase, kills those last 4 remaining wounds, then
I'll be holding the objective.
you'll be holding the objective and you'll just win the game. So this could be a very short game, guys. Alright, so with a 3-inch pile in, I'm going to get 3 models in here to strike. And I'll measure that 4th, but I don't think so. He's going to get an attack.
Cool.
And he is going to get an attack.
Always measure.
Always measure. Alright. So, there we go with 4 5 attacks. 5 attacks, 3s and 4s, 6s cause mortal on hit roll. 2 mortal wounds.
Ouch.
No saves allowed. So, your one guy's down to 2 wounds. Alright, so, only 1 other regular hit, so we're not going to kill a model. See if we wound. Nope. Alright. So that was worth it. I believe your last unit you can strike with is your halberdiers.
Okay. Okay. I think that might be everybody.
I think it is.
So 9, 10.
9 attacks. 10 attacks. They didn't lose anybody at 10. Fours and fours with a -1 rand.
Ouch!
Woo! Alright, well, it's worth a try.
I finally rolled bad.
Yeah, these guys didn't attack yet either, actually.
No.
So they're still going to get a strike. Alright, but my next move is going to be to attack back with my Hell Cannon.
Hell cannon.
Yum. Please don't sue us for that.
We do not own the copyrights to the yum sound.
You know what we're talking about, guys. Alright, so 2 attacks. 4s and 3s. 6s are mortal. 2 hits. 3s to wound. Nothing. Oh, the fart noise. That's what did it. But I have my gnashing maw.
No.
This is only 1 attack, so don't worry. But if it goes through, it does D3 damage. 4s and 3s, -1 rand. Nope.
No.
Ah, stop doing that. Alright, so you're going to be at full attacks for my battle round, so that's gonna hurt.
Okay.
Alright, so you're going to strike next.
With my tree revenants. Right, so for my tree revenants, I have my leader who gets 4 attacks, and I have a regular dude who gets 2 attacks. My leader has a glaive, so he is going to be hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s with a -1 rend, doing 2 damage each.
Okay.
Okay, only 1.
3s?
Nope.
Nope. Alright.
I didn't do anything.
2 attacks for your guy with the white pipes.
Once per phase with my martial memories, I'm allowed to reroll 1 dice. So I'm going to take that 1 and see if I can actually make it go through.
Nice.
No.
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to do the other guy. He has a blade. He is hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. And we have 1 that went through with a -1 rend.
Okay, these are 1 damage each?
Yes.
Okay. So you kill 1.
Got it. Not as effective this turn.
Nope, but that's alright. You still are in a really good position.
Yes.
Turn 3, Chaos. And after reading the mission a little bit better, from the end of turn 3, it says starting from the 3rd battle round. So I'm considering that to be the end of the 3rd battle round. If one player controls both objectives, they win, and that continues onto the 4th battle round, the 5th battle round, and then the game ends and you go down to kill points after that. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and save the situation here. It's not looking good, but we could maybe get something off here. Between the river and this obstacle that's also going to subtract an inch, I don't feel like I can get over there. My best chance is to pile into this combat, cut through these guys, and see if we can get over by next turn and hope that our chariot survives, our skull cannon. So, alright. My Herald of Corn can move 5, and he's also going to roll for his ability. It's everyone within, I believe it's 8 inches, so that'll be them. On a 5+, no. On a 5+, no. And for the Herald of Slaanesh on a 5+, no. Ooh, that's going to be major.
Nobody.
Alright, so we're not going to get any unpredictable destruction from these guys, but that's okay. I've got a... So I think she needs to help these guys out. My best chance of winning is over here, because I think these guys are done. So she's going to move her 6 and jump up to here, tossing some extra attacks. So that if these guys kill 1 unit, they'll still have 2 to contend with no matter what. Alright, that's it. It's a very fast movement phase. I don't have a magic phase. Finish my command ability. And we're going to go right into shooting. So, my skull cannon is in combat, but in this game I believe you can still shoot if you're in combat. I don't think they changed that yet.
No.
Alright, so skull cannon. He's going to shoot at the Karnoth hunters. He's going to hit with a 3. He's going to wound with a 3. You're at a -2 rend, so your 4 up goes to a 6 up. And are you going to sprout the wall of thorns for this battle round?
Yeah.
What does that do?
I can't move to pile in, but it allows me to re-roll failed saves.
Okay. Sounds good. So 6 up. Oh! Did you get that on camera? Oh. Oh, man. This is just, it's not going well, folks. Alright, so, we're going to move right on to charges. My Herald of Slaanesh is going to drop a charge in anything but double ones. She's going to use that extra movement to just go all the way around here. 11 inches.
Hey, gay.
Hey, buddy. So this Herald of Corn is going to charge. He's going to check his range. So he needs to hit this model. So it's going to be the 7-inch charge. 7 inches! Come on!
Boo!
Boo hiss. Where would 4 get him? 4 would get him to here. It's not even close enough for a base to base. So, alright, he's staying there. And we're going to move right on into combat. So, it being my turn, I don't think she would survive a round of fighting from this one model, honestly. So she's going to strike first with her 6 attacks. She hits on 3s, wounds on 4s, 6s to hit, generate an extra attack. Alright, 2 extra attacks, so I'm going to re-roll this dice and bring in another. And that's going to give us 1 extra hit. 4s are going to wound him. So, she's not that overpowered. Alright, so that's all wounds. I'm liking it. So you can re-roll these. I'm at -1 rend, so you're at 5 up with a re-roll. Oops.
Alright, 5 up with a reroll.
Nice, so you're going to need to re-roll 4 of those, it looks like. So we took the wounds, the last 2 wounds off of this Kurnoth Hunter, and we're going to put...
he has 3 remaining.
He has 3 remaining onto the guy in base-to-base contact is what we'll do.
Go ahead and attack next with my lizardmen. I have 7 of them. They are hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s.
Okay.
Okay,
2.
so 2.
We got 5 up saves here. I'm going to lose 2 more wounds, bringing me down to 2. You now get your jaws and your Star Drake shields.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
5s and 4s for the jaws.
Alright, 1 more wound. And we're going to go ahead and try and save that. Oh,
You do.
we did. Nice. Alright, so just down to 2 wounds there. Looks like we're going to survive for another turn. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and swing with our bloodletters. They're going to do a pile-in. They were knocked out of combat, but they're 3 inches away, so they're going to get a nice pile-in attack here. Okay guys, my bloodletter's piled in, and they're going to be hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, and 6s to hit are decapitating blow. So we're going to get 1 decapitating blow, causing this guy to drop down to 2 wounds. This is our best chance of winning here, guys. And then we're going to do 2 hits normally. We're going to drop you down to 3s to wound. That's going to be 1 wound at a -1 rend. And you're going to get a 5+ with a reroll. Reroll it. Oh. No, 1 more wound goes through, dropping him to 1 remaining. Okay, you swing next.
Okay. They've already finished the bloodletters and her, so I'm not going to do them next. I'm actually going to go ahead with my tree revenants next.
Good idea, 2 remaining.
Mm-hmm. So he is going to do 4s and 3s.
Got it. -1 rend, 2 damage.
Yep.
2 hits.
And I get to reroll 1 per phase. I'm going to do that here. Nope.
Alright.
Okay, so 1.
-1 rend.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 damage.
That's going to be a 6+.
Oh
and
my.
we're going to make it for once.
Nice.
There we go.
Okay, now I get 2 more for my other guy with the blade.
That's right. I forgot about him.
4s and oops, 3s.
It's okay. It's a cocked.
Okay.
So 1 hit. 1 wound. -1 rend additionally, but only 1 damage. So he's going to kill 1. Taking this girl away here. Alright, since you have more attacks here, I may as well strike back before the halberdiers finish them off. So we're going to go ahead and roll our 4 attacks for the remaining 2. 6s generate an extra attack. And that's going to be just 1 hit. And we're going to wound on 4s. And we're going to be -1 rend. And we're attacking your tree revenants, so they're going to go to 6.
6s. Nope.
Oh, alright, so I'm going to take the white pipe away.
Yep. To his hit rolls.
So he hits on 2s, wounds on 3s with a -1 rend and 2 damage, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So he gets 4 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
Wounding on 3s. Now, but
wounding on 3s. Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
We've got 2 wounds.
2.
Alright, and they have a -1 rend, putting
Yep.
us to 6s. And
they
that's
do
gonna
2 damage.
4 guys. Wow. This unit is deadly.
Yeah, the other guy gets 4 attacks, but he is hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Okay, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s.
Is that 2 damage in addition?
No. Yes.
It is still 2 damage. Alright, so is that a rend as well?
Yes.
Okay, 6s. Nope, 2 more die. Shwing! Ugh. That's gonna be a panic over there.
Okay.
Halberdiers, 4s and 4s, -1 rend. You're still
You
gonna
have
get
10?
everybody. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
No, nobody's died.
Oh. Okay.
10
4s
attacks
and
for the
4s.
halberdiers, 4s and 4s. Alright, pretty good. With a -1 rend, I'm at 6s, and that should be the last of them. And that's it. Unit gone. Alright, it's not looking good for chaos, guys. All we're doing right here is buying some time. We're not going to lose this turn. But it looks like we are probably going to lose if we see the state of the game here. If I get back a little bit. On the far right, you can see the dwarves holding the fire pit objective, the beacon light, and the halberdiers. And then we've got 2 forlorn hope bloodletters here. We've been reading a lot of the Richard Sharp books by Bernard Cornwell, so we threw a little historical reference in there. I've got my 2 heralds left. They've survived. And contesting this objective, I've got my skull cannon of corn. So that's the end of it.
Is that the end of the combat?
That seems to be the end of the combat.
At the end of the combat, I get to pick an enemy unit and roll a dice for each Kurnoth Hunter that is within 1 inch of it, and on 4 pluses, you suffer a mortal wound.
Alright, so you're going to have to get just one or the other here.
Got it. So I'm going to choose your...
Or does this say each?
It says, at the end of the combat phase, pick an enemy unit and roll a dice for each Kurnoth Hunter from this unit that is within 1 inch of it.
Okay, so that's going to be only one against either.
Okay. So,
Seems better over here. You'd actually kill a model.
Yeah. Okay.
So on a 4+ you kill one. Yep.
Yep.
Ugh. So I think he's done. So he's got 7 killed. So leadership, bravery is 10. So 3 would do it. 2, we're okay.
Nice.
Alrighty then, these are some brave demons. And looks like we're going to be fighting to the bitter end here. But it also looks like the forces of order are going to avenge these settlers who have been wiped out and retake their watchtower. But there's always more demons. Oh. Alright, so we're moving right into
Turn 4.
Turn 4.
Okay guys, so we're on Order's turn for turn 4. And I'm going to start with my hero phase. Jezebel is going to do Inspiring Presence for the halberds, again, because they have the lowest bravery. And I'm going to use her Ancient Blessings again on the Kurnoth Hunters. They are within 16 inches.
Oh, that really brings back models, not wounds. Wow.
Yes.
So if that goes off, you're getting that last one back no matter what.
Yes.
Wow. I should have really brought some casters to this fight.
So it goes off on a 5. And we get it with a 6.
Alright, that model's coming back. So her blessing brought back that last Kurnoth Hunter. Wow. It's getting tough, man. So that bloodletter's really dead, basically.
Yeah.
Might as well just drop
It's
him in
normally
base to base.
D3, but since I only have one that I can return, I didn't roll
Exactly.
for it. Just to clarify. Okay, so that's my hero phase.
Straight into movement.
Straight into movement. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to move my dwarf miners over here. This ruin is actually hollow, so they're going to move their regular 4 inches, which we estimated to be right in the middle.
And there he is, our little guy.
So he's going to mark where they are for now, that they moved up 4 inches through the ruin.
Yeah, our miner ended up right in the middle there, so we are going to measure that charge range straight out the front door, as if the terrain does not impede it, because there is a door. So
On both ends. Yeah.
On both ends, so you could see right through there his little model's eye view with the skull cannon. It's crazy. And he's got a little candle on his hat, so you can see really well in there. All right, so regular movement continues.
Regular movement. So these guys move 5. They are going to regroup and form a nice little line.
3 inches away from my warlord there.
Yep. So we're going to make a little, well, maybe that's too far. Up on the rock here.
Yeah, battlefield looks awfully empty compared to what we started with.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be, you need to be 3 inches away from an enemy, and you're
like
an inch and a half away from this model here.
Gotcha.
And even this guy would probably end up having to move slightly over.
Got it.
So, Shelby's Free Guild Guard halberdiers have moved up so that they're just 3 inches away from these 2 models of mine. Alright, what's next, Shelby?
Jezebel's just going to move up here for
Extra model near the objective?
Model near the objective, yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
How about your last tree revenant? He's the champion.
He's going to join the possible charge too with his 5.
Join the charge!
Inches.
He could stand on that rock, sure.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
And he looks very heroic like that.
Yes.
Burr, burr, burr. Tree revenant to the rescue! Very neat little model. He's got a claw that he's holding up in a glaive. Really cool, like emo hair. Alright, what's next? Cool. So it looks like we're moving straight into combats now.
Into charges.
Into charges, correct.
So we are going to charge with the tree revenants.
You need a 3.
We just get a 3.
Just get a 3. He's going to be
sure.
just into base to base. I think his glaive is a 2-inch reach anyway.
Okay.
The 3 inches is actually more would have put him up here, don't you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Straight base to base.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay, now we'll do the halberds are charging. They can
5.
go 5.
So from him, that should make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can go around here.
You got a couple in.
So I guess maybe like
We've got 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Now they have a 2-inch reach, I do believe.
This guy will make it to here. Roark.
Gorka Morka?
Gorka Morka. I wish I had all my orcs and goblins, guys. I used to have like some really cool early 2000s, late 90s orcs and goblins. I had like the old Spider Riders, like back when they were metal, and tons of them. And all kinds of orc boar boys, goblin wolf riders, you know, just tons of fun stuff. Snotling pump wagon, snotlings on the base. It's a good time.
So I think 5 guys can hit him.
Alright, that's cool.
Alright, but we're not attacking quite yet. We're going to try to charge with the miners. So they
5?
would need a 6.
6? Alright. Rolling for that miner! He's going to get it with a 7. Alright, so let's say from him, we're going to put them straight in base to base. You're going to get a few.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is right after the miners have made their charge. The furthest one away got into the house, and I believe the 4 or 5 in the front got in base to base, and the rest are funneling through that door. Very cool old decrepit house here. And looks like we've got about 4 within striking range. 2 here, and 2 here. Alright. Good maneuver. What's next?
Okay, I think we're moving into combats.
Alright. So the lay of the land here is a combat between my Herald and Bloodletter with the last of the 3, actually all of the Kurnoth Hunters now that you brought one back. We've got a very forlorn looking Herald of Khorne here with tons of guys in combat and my Skull Cannon. And that's really all I got left. So looking at the board, very few models left on the board. But Order seems to be doing a bit better.
Yes.
All right, so who's going to strike first?
That's a good question. Well, I'm really antsy to see what we're going to do to the cannon. So I guess we'll go ahead with the lizardmen.
Okay, so we've got the lizardmen in combat here. They're going to swing with their clubs, but we actually rolled with them earlier for their bites attacks, and they got 2. They rolled 2, and they really only have 1. So they're going to forego their jaws and their Star Drake shields attack for this battle round.
Yeah.
Not for the whole battle round, just for this round of combat, and then on my turn they'll get to strike again. All right, so with their clubs, 4s and 3s.
Mm-hmm.
No randing. All right, it looks like we got 4 in there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need a lot of 5s to save this dude. No, he's gone. And the dwarves were just there for backup to kind of look menacing and support the lizardmen by cheering them on. Oh, that's a terrible hole there. So unless I can get some of my guys inexplicably over to that house by magical reasons, by the end of this battle round, I think that's going to be an order victory. But we always, well, not always, but we usually play our games through to the end, so we are definitely going to do that here. All right, so just...
All right, who are you swinging with, baby?
All right, so for honor's sake, we are going to swing next with our Herald of Slaanesh.
All right.
She's got 6 attacks. She hits on 3s. And she wounds on 4s. 6s generate an extra attack. So I have 2 extra attacks. I'm going to bring in 2 extra dice. Okay. Looks like we've got everything. Alright, this is where we regain our honor. We're going to...
oh, and I'm putting up my thorns.
Okay, so the thorns are still up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll our... 2 wound rolls, 4+, and -1 rend. Okay, that's going to be 3 wounds with a -1 rend. You're on 5s with a reroll. Alright, 2 rerolls. And that's going to be 1 wound. It's going to kill a guy. Alright, and that leaves her out of combat. Alright, she did alright. She's happy with herself. Who's going next for you?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and... do my halberds.
Okay. They hit on 4s, wound on 4s with a -1 rend, 1 attack each.
Yes.
So it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's just off.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, like I said, 5.
Yeah, 5. We got it from earlier. Actually, yeah, you already counted. 4s and 4s.
Ouch. Well, no, I guess not ouch. I just saw the 2.
Decent. Decent.
1.
Yeah, that's ouch.
Yeah.
So
-1 rend.
6s. That's the problem with demons is they have, you know, crap saves.
And he...
I think he has 5 wounds, which puts him down to 4. Alright, so he's going to strike back. And
should have done the glaive first.
Should have done the glaive first. Probably would have killed him.
Yeah, well.
Alright, so we've got 4 attacks. We hit on 3s, wound on 3s. 6s are decapitating blow to hit.
No 6s.
And that's 1 hit. Derp. To wound. Alright, so
who are you hitting?
I'm attacking your special guy here with the glaive. I should have declared that before I rolled. Sorry about that. But I, throughout the game, I've only been attacking them. So that's why all the halberdiers are left.
Right.
6+.
But I get to re-roll it because once per phase I'm allowed to re-roll 1 dice.
Got it. Re-roll it. Opposite of what you need.
Why didn't I do him first?
That's alright. He did his job. He took out a lot of demonettes.
Yeah, he did.
Alright, so you swing back with somebody somewhere.
Okay, we're going to do Kurnoth Hunters.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's all you got left. So you have
all against the 1 blood lord.
Yeah, just roll your officer first.
Okay.
Alright, so your champion is going to roll separately. He's hitting on 2s, actually, with a +1 to hit. And he's wounding on 3s, -1 rend, 2 damage apiece.
And 4 attacks.
2s, anything but the 1. Okay, it's 2 more wounds. And unless I get double 6s, he is gone.
Double gone.
Yep, double gone. Like quadruple gone. Oh man, 8 times gone. No, 4 times gone. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so they did what they do, and they stomped across the battlefield and killed everything.
Yep.
Cool, cool miniatures, too.
That might be everybody.
I think that's everybody on your side of things, and that's everybody on my side of things as well. So we are moving on to Chaos turn. Alright guys, so if you look at everything here, check this whole table and see if there's any Chaos models anywhere but here. There isn't. There's just one guy left.
Well, there's her.
Oh, there's her. You know, I actually forgot about her. Alright, so never mind, I was lying, guys. We still have 2 models left. Okay, we're going to move straight into... actually, he gets to roll to see if he does +1 to hit on a 5+. No. I think she's too far away, but we'll check. From the edge of his base, she's just out of range. Okay. She's going to declare a charge here. As a matter of fact, she's not. She's going to declare a charge towards these guys. And that's a 7. Give me a 7. Yep.
Yes.
Plenty of room. And she can actually do something over here. It's a foregone conclusion, but may as well try. So, we've got... choose who goes first, and I'm going to choose my Herald of Slaanesh. She gets 6 attacks. 3s and 4s. 6s generate an extra attack. You guys know the drill. Alright, so I'm rolling 2 misses. And that's going to be all but 1. 4s to wound with a -1 rend. Here we go. 3. So you guys are actually, they only have a 6+ save.
Okay, so Steven wounded me 3 times with his Herald of Slaanesh, and I'm going to do 3 6+ saves.
With my -1 rend. Nope,
Nope,
3 gone.
3 dead.
She got rid of 3 models. I'll take them from base to base. Which I probably should have been doing the whole game, but we'll forgive that. Your guys get a pile in now. Alright guys, this is the end of the game, it looks like, for me. So these Kurnoth Hunters have piled in because they were just 3 inches away from that Herald and they were able to get drawn in. So, it looks like this is the last stand of the Heralds of Chaos. Alright, what are your Halberdiers doing? Striking against my Herald?
They're striking against your Herald of Corn.
Got it.
There's 7 of them that can hit. We're doing 4s. No.
-1 rend.
Okay.
So 2. I need 6s to save. And that's going to be 1 wound. He's down to 3. So not too bad for him. Okay, he might survive this battle yet. So he's going to get to strike back. He has 4 attacks. He hits on 3s, wounds on 3s. 6s, decapitating. Okay guys, we have our Herald of Corn. He's got 4 attacks. 3s, and 3s again. Let's try to do that again. Oh, one of those was a 6 actually. So that's already going to cause a casualty. And then Snake Eyes.
So 1 gone.
1 gone. We'll take it from the back. Alright, now we have a pile in. He moved here from these Kurnoth Hunters into the Herald.
And it's my regular guy, not my Hunt Master.
Yeah, he's the model in the back with the bigger horns.
So he gets 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s.
Cool. Wow. Okay, and I get 6+ saves because of the -1 rend, and these explode into 2 damage.
Yes.
And that's going to be enough damage to kill her. Shwing! And she's gone. Alright, so that is the end of my phase and also the end of this game. Because, as we've stated before, if at the end of any battle round after battle round 3 you control both objectives, which we're measuring 3 inches from the objective, and there's 5 models in there, which there are. So we've got them, and we've got these guys over here, and some of the dwarves are still in. So that's just enough here with the dwarves. So that's going to be the end of the game, guys, and I only have 1 model remaining. It's my Herald of Corn, my general. He did an admirable job, but it wasn't enough. And things turned around. I thought once I killed those Bretonnian Knights that we'd really be doing good, but, you know, this army's really strong. Beef, yeah, especially with those Kurnoth Hunters. And, you know, for Chaos, it feels like you really ought to bring some casters. And I've been doing that every game. I've never had a game where I didn't have any casters. In fact, in our first game, I had 2 units of Pink Horrors, which are casters. I had a Herald of Tzeentch, a Changer, a Lord of Change, and a I believe I also had the Changeling
Yeah.
in that game. And
You're still learning how to use him.
yeah, I was still learning how to use him, but they were all casters, and that was before the General's Handbook came out.
Yeah.
We hadn't yet gotten ours, and that was back when you can cast spells with no limit. So you can everybody could do arcane, could do arcane bolt,
Yeah.
where everybody could do mystic shield. So that was really overpowered, and then they limited it to one of each spell, which works. And we just got the Disciples of Tzeentch battle tome, and I have a lot of Tzeentch models I'm painting up right now, and we're going to bring those into our next game.
Woohoo!
All right, any comments on the end of this game, Shelby? How do you feel?
I feel proud that we retook the mountain.
Definitely.
Jezebel did a good job rounding up a crew to take down the demons. And we have relit the fire.
Nice. Looks good, so the townspeople down below the mountain can see that there was a victory up here.
Yep. And the miners are probably going to start rebuilding right away. They've got pickaxes.
Yeah, why not? And you got all kinds of stuff around here, trees you can use and all that.
Lumber.
Alright guys, so we hope you enjoyed this battle report. We know it was on an odd-sized table and with very strange sort of lists here, but it was really more about showcasing the models, less about bringing powerful lists. So we really hope you guys enjoyed this. The interesting terrain, the old school models, the brand new models.
I love the Kurnoth Hunters and the Tree
They're cool.
Revenants. They're really cool. And in our next Age of Sigmar, we're going to be bringing a more Sylvaneth and Wanderers heavy game.
Definitely.
To show those guys off. We have some Dryads that we are painting up right now. And we're doing that fall theme like we've done with the Tree Revenants and the Kurnoth Hunters.
Yeah, we've got the fall leaves there, you guys can see. And I think we did a pretty good job. If you want close-up views of any of our miniatures, if you like them, you can check us out on Instagram. Our Instagram is the same thing. It's the Armchair Emperor. And if you want to check us out on Facebook, again, it's just the Armchair Emperor. So
we have really great pictures.
Yeah, high definition.
All of our minis.
And we have a light box, which really just you can get to see the paint jobs on there. And I also do some painting for commission in case you guys are interested in getting any miniatures painted. I'll take any job anywhere in the continental U.S. So, if you guys are interested in having us paint some miniatures, either Shelby or myself, you can check that out on our Facebook, and those prices are there. And, yeah, so we hope you guys enjoyed this battle report.
If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and share with your other friends who play Warhammer.
That's right, guys. You know, it really helps us. The clicks add up, and, you know, with the advertising, it really helps. So, you know, hope you guys click it, you know, hit the thumbs up, you know, subscribe to the channel if you like the video. And we have some pretty cool content coming up. You know, we're going to do 40K next, so look out for a cool 40K video using the new Codex supplement, Traitor Legions. Alright guys, we are the Armchair Emperor and we're signing off.